This is a true story taken from an actual medical file.
Recently, a lovely young patient of mine suffered serious injury in an unusual accident. Especially unfortunate, as her beauty was important to her in her career.
Claudia Humphreys.
Claudia, this is Roy. Something to tell you, darling. Something exciting.
I'm listening, Roy. What's it all about?
I've landed that registrar's job I applied for, Claudia. I'm going to work with Professor Bernstein. You remember I told you about him.
He's the one who specializes in faces, isn't he?
Maxillofacial surgery, yes. I only heard this morning. Couldn't wait to tell you.
Oh, I'm glad, Roy. I know how much you were counting on this. Congratulations.
What about a celebration?
Of course. This evening?
Well, I'm on duty tonight, unfortunately. Can you manage lunch?
Oh, I'm modelling all day, darling.
But you must stop for lunch. What are you modelling?
Spares this morning and swimsuits this afternoon. From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Then tell old Charles he can photograph the swimsuits at Henley. We go down there for luncheon at the River Inn. And use the boat for a background this afternoon. I won't take no for an answer. Tell that photographer friend of yours that the boat is freshly painted, red with white trim. Be a super background. I'll book a table for 3. Be ready just after 12 and I'll pick you up at the studio.
Medical File. Factual stories of the men and women whose vigilance guards our lives. A reconstruction of clinical case histories, step by step with the doctors who were there. Medical File.
Claudia Humphreys had been a patient of mine since she was a little girl. A very lovely little girl who grew up to be a beautiful young woman. She had carved a successful career for herself as a photographic model, and a sweeter girl you couldn't wish to meet. She used to say that her beauty was nothing special, that she was just lucky to have a wide smile and good teeth. But there was a great deal more to it than that. Her exceptional good looks, charming manner, and knowledge of every branch of her profession made her one of the most sought-after models in the country. On this particular occasion, she completed her morning assignment, and then, with the photographer, Charles Starr, and her fiancé, young Dr. Roy Denton, had lunch at Henley on Thames.
I'm sorry to have to keep you working like this, Claudia, but you know we have a deadline.
I know, not to worry. Would you like some more coffee?
Oh, not for me, thank you.
Right?
No, thanks, sir. What location had you in mind, Charles?
Oh, well, the river, certainly. I like the idea of using the boat, too. I was wondering whether we could get right out into the stream, take some shots on the craft itself.
Yeah, we could do that. I have a better idea. Claudia's marvelous on water skis, almost professional. How about that?
Oh, do you ski? I didn't know. Well, of course, that'd be perfect. You game, Claudia?
Certainly I am. And it will show the swimsuits beautifully. Come on, let's get started.
Oh, this is marvelous, Roy. Got some wonderful shots. Oh, the light's just right.
Yes, Claudia seems to know exactly what you want, Charles.
Oh, we've worked together for a long time. She knows her job. That makes it easy for me. You notice the way she turns her head this way? Just the right angle. God, she's uncanny, that girl. Two more beauties.
We're getting rather near the marina. Lots of craft ahead. I'll have to turn in a moment.
Well, keep on this course a little longer if you can. Sun's just right. Half a minute more.
There's a boy ahead. I'll have to swerve. Look out, Claudia. Hang on.
She came off. We hit something.
Don't worry. Claudia swims like a fish.
Yeah, but she isn't swimming, Roy. I think she's... Here, look. The rope's caught round her ankle. Here, we're pulling her along underwater.
What's that? You're right. She is caught in something. I'm going over to get her. Okay, Claudia. I'm on my way. Must be about here. No. Let's follow the rope. Dive. Okay, Claudia. I've got you. Stay still.
Oh, this way, Roy. Going fine.
Give us a hand here, Charles. She's out to the cut. Can you reach?
Here we are. I've got her answer.
Hold her like that while I climb aboard. That's it. Let me look at her face. Get her on there. She's been badly injured. This to her, Charles.
I'd say her face hit that boy as we passed. What a dreadful man.
Well, she's not getting her breath. She's blue. The thing to do is to lay her face downwards. I think I must... I thought so. Tongue is right in the back of her throat. Could suffocate.
What can we do?
See how blue she is under all that blood?
Yeah.
Let's get that tongue forward.
You can't touch that blood. It's torn to pieces.
I must get her tongue forward. There. Now lay her face downwards gently. Charles, hold her like still as you can. When I get this boat back to the shore, and quickly.
Directly the boat reached the landing stage, an ambulance was summoned, and Claudia was admitted to the casualty department of the hospital.
Wouldn't you be wanting another cup of tea, Mrs. Humphreys? I think it'd do you good.
Oh, not really, thank you. If you say so, sister.
Right.
How long have I been here?
Must be 2 hours or more since you arrived at the hospital. Are you hungry? Will I get you a sandwich?
Oh, no, thank you. I'll just have the tea. Where is my daughter now?
Oh, she's still with the doctor. They'll be finding out how badly she's hurt.
Do you know what happened? All they told me on the phone was that she'd had an accident. Or was it a car?
No, I don't think so. I understand she was water skiing and came off the skis. And she must have hit her face on something.
Her face? Oh, no.
Now, you mustn't worry too much, Mrs. Humphreys. She's having every possible attention, and Professor Bernstein's with her.
Who is he?
Oh, he's a maxillofacial surgeon. He operates on the jaw and bones of the face. He's the leading man in his field.
Oh.
You're very lucky that he's here to attend your daughter, believe me.
Did you see her when she came in?
Yes, I did, Mrs. Humphreys. Her face was very torn. I'll be honest with you about that, but young Dr. Jones was on duty in casualty, and he stitched her up. He's excellent with the needlework, is young Dr. Jones.
Her face will be scarred.
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, good evening, Dr. Denton.
Good evening, sister. Where's Mrs. Humphreys?
She's here, Doctor.
Hello. Been waiting long?
Came as soon as they phoned me. How is she, Roy?
Well, she's regained consciousness, but they've put her under sedation. She's very bruised.
Roy, what happened?
Oh, it was a freak accident. Came off her skis and hit a mooring buoy or some such object in the water. It's injured her face, Mrs. Humphreys.
How badly? Tell me.
I'm afraid her jaw is broken.
Oh.
Her lips are cut. Her eyes are all right there. Her sight won't be affected at all.
Is she concussed?
Slightly. That's the least of our worries. It's her mouth. Claudia's lovely mouth. What a shame. What a beastly shame.
I can't take this in properly. You say her jaw was broken. Well, how did that happen?
Heaven knows how any of it happened, Mrs. Humphreys. I blame myself. I went too near the moorings. I'll never forgive myself. Never.
Roy, you mustn't think like that. Sister tells me we've a Professor Bernstein looking after her.
Yes. I'm darned lucky. I'm going to work for him. Just heard I've got the job. Oh, Claudia, I wish I could help you over this.
I'm sure you will be able to later, Roy, when she realizes what's happened. And then your encouragement will mean a great deal to us both. Look, isn't that Charles Starr over there? Probably inquiring for us.
Yes, it is. Charles, we're here.
Oh, hello. Oh, good evening, Mrs. Humphreys. This is a terrible business. How is she?
Professor Bernstein's still with her. Except for her face and a sprained ankle. There doesn't seem to be any other damage.
Well, that's enough. I shall never forget how she looked when we pulled her out of the water.
I'm expecting the professor to send for Mrs. Humphreys any minute. It can't be much longer.
Did you two boys pull her out of the water?
Well, Roy did. He dived in when we realized she was unconscious.
Then you saved her life. I shall never forget that. But for you, she would have been drowned.
Well, yes, perhaps. Here's Professor Bernstein now.
Dr. Denton. This must be my patient's mother.
Yes, Mrs. Humphreys, this is Professor Bernstein.
How do you do? You must be very anxious to hear about your daughter. Well, I can now tell you a little. May I sit down
Of course,
here?
please do.
Can I get you some tea, Professor?
That would be most acceptable.
Oh, I'll go. At the desk over there.
Yes, Sister will get it for you.
First of all, Mrs. Humphreys, I shall be frank with you. It's of no use to be otherwise, no?
Oh, please, tell me everything.
Good. You're a very brave woman. Well, your daughter has a fractured mandible. That is the lower jawbone. It's broken in two places. Midline in front, and the right condyle is fractured also.
Condyle?
Oh, I'm sorry. The condyle is the portion of the jaw which approaches the ear. They are simple fractures, but they are soft tissue injuries to her face involving the corner of her mouth especially. And in addition, 3 of the upper front teeth are broken. In my opinion, her eyes are not affected in any way. She's extensively bruised, of course, but I can say with confidence that it could have been very much worse. Indeed, in many ways, she's a lucky girl.
When can I see her?
Later. She's now under sedation. But, Mrs. Humphreys, you must thank Providence that there's no damage to the brain. In fact, there's no injury that we cannot deal with. Believe me, we shall restore your daughter's face perfectly. That I promise you.
In saying that he and his colleagues would restore Claudia's original beauty, the professor had made what appeared to be a rash promise. And her mother was comforted, although not convinced. It wasn't until the following day that Claudia was wheeled into the theatre for the necessary surgery, because she'd enjoyed a special luncheon just before her accident, and the anaesthetist required a delay. In the meantime, impressions were taken of Claudia's upper and lower jaws, and models sent to the dental technician, who cast metal plates, known as cap splints, to fit over the teeth and hold the fractures in place. The operation of fitting the splints, performed by Professor Bernstein himself, was a delicate one, and was observed with great interest by his students.
Now, you will see, gentlemen, that the cuts on the inner sides of the cheeks have now been stitched. The patient has been intubated and the throat packed off. I will now reduce the fractures with these cap splints. Here, you will note that the midline fracture here has divided the jaw into 2 distinct separate parts, so that the contour of the patient's face is not here like a human face anymore. The maxilla is not damaged, except for the loss of these 3 front teeth, which we shall later replace. Now, the splint, please.
Stop.
Lower jaw, thank you. This one will fit over the mandible, so, and reduce the midline fracture, so, as you can see. And here, high on the right-hand side, it will hold the condyle in place also, for a simpler procedure than a figure 8 wiring, which would require an intraoral incision. Hand me the maxilla splint, if you please. Thank you. Now, that will fit so. Perfect. You may reduce the anesthesia, Doctor.
All right, Professor.
Allow your patient to regain consciousness. And now, gentlemen, we come to the part which will afford the patient some inconvenience for the next 6 weeks. We lock the splints together, so, and so, and so. Now, how will she eat? She will not eat, gentlemen. She will be fed with a tube or a straw. It's wonderful how the nurses and the patients get over these little difficulties. And a fluid diet is as nourishing as any. The patient is now in good hands. We will leave her. Now I will answer all the questions you are wanting to ask. Is it not so, yeah?
Claudia's mother was deeply shocked when she first saw her daughter on her return from the theatre. Bandages hid most of the disfiguring cuts, but the ugly splints clamping Claudia's jaws together were frightening, and conversation practically impossible. It was several days before the swellings and bruising subsided. The jaw was painful, as was her sprained ankle. But nevertheless, it wasn't long before the patient was sitting up and receiving visitors.
I knew you'd want to hear all the studio news, love. Shots of the swimsuits came out 100%. They'll be in Mamselle next month. The art editors are still with them. Hey, what's the matter?
I shall never be a model again.
Oh, you will, you know. The old professor says he'll have you back to normal in no time. Anyway, until then, I'll photograph your back, honey. You've got a beautiful back. It's more...
Hey, Charles, what's all this? She's my girl, remember? You leave the compliments to me. Well, darling, how's things?
No.
No, I can kiss you, can't I? Bandages, splints and all. Or is there some law against it in this hospital? There. Oh, the swelling's gone down. I can see the splints clearly this morning.
Give me a mirror.
Mirror? Not on your life. There isn't one in the room anyway. Where's your mother?
Oh, she's going to get some ice cream. We're going to see if Claudia can take it through a straw.
I don't see why you shouldn't. I brought you some champagne, by the way. What are you laughing at?
Oh, mad Roy. How can I drink champagne? And why?
Why not, I should like to know. You're a very lucky girl. And you've so many friends. Look at all these flowers. There's lots more out in the corridor as well. And telegrams from all over.
How did they know?
Well, I brought you the newspapers. You've a headline on the woman's page. Now, listen to this. Yeah. Claudia Humphreys, whose picture is to be found in every fashion magazine, suffered a serious accident.
Ice cream on the menu. Hello, Roy. I thought you were going to be busy this morning.
Professor Bernstein sent me to tell Claudia he won't be visiting her today.
Why not?
Well, he says she's progressing according to plan. I reckon that's something to celebrate. That's why I brought the champagne.
Professor Bernstein was completely satisfied with the progress Claudia had made in a short time. The metal splints, which had been constructed to fit over Claudia's upper and lower teeth, were uncomfortable to say the least, but they ensured that the fractures healed perfectly and that the contours of her face would be completely restored. The 6 weeks during which her jaws were clamped together passed eventually, but the shock of the accident and the possible termination of her career were not so easily overcome.
There, the splints are off. How does her mouth feel now, Miss Humphreys?
Stiff, Professor.
Yeah, that's to be expected. You have now the second phase of the treatment, the dental work. You'll have to be patient, all of you. See, the sister has brought you tea. You will drink it from a cup, thankfully, no? Right, goodbye now. I will come again in the morning.
Goodbye, Professor.
Bye.
Here's your tea, darling. You think you can manage?
I'll try. Oh, how good it is to...
What is it, dear?
Something wrong. Oh, no, you didn't tell me. I've lost my front teeth.
Only 3. That's what the professor meant when he said you'll have dental treatment. They're going to replace them, Claudia, directly the gums.
Oh, with that plate. How awful. False teeth. Oh, Mummy, I'll never be able to model again. What can I do? It's the only thing. Oh, no.
Claudia, don't give way now, please. It's such a great deal to be thankful for. Claudia.
I want a mirror. Please. I must find out how bad it is.
Oh, wait, darling, please. It's only going to upset you.
I want a mirror, Mummy. Now.
Here you are.
Oh, no. No. Who could be so cruel as to make me look like this? I'm grotesque. Look at the scars on my cheek. Oh, look at my lips. And no front teeth. Oh, Mommy, it's not fair. It's not fair.
Poor little girl. Poor Claudia.
I want to hide. I want to get out of this place. Oh, take me home. Please take me home.
I don't know, Roy. She doesn't say very much. Since she's been home, she's become so withdrawn.
Yes, I've noticed that. I expected some degree of depression, but this is getting serious.
Yes, I know. She isn't interested in anything. She doesn't even care about her teeth anymore. Roy, what exactly is this new thing they're going to make for her instead of the little plate?
Oh, something very special. A permanent bridge. Directly the gums are settled down, we shall make the appointment for her.
With Professor Bernstein?
No, with a prosthodontist. Don't worry about it. I feel that the most important thing just now is to jerk her out of this depression. But how?
Can't Charles help?
Oh, she couldn't face up to a camera at the moment. Do we need a face? Wait a minute, I have an idea. May I use the phone?
Where are we going, Roy? Why all the secrecy?
I just thought we'd go for a little run around. Don't you want to see the town and the shops?
Not particularly. And I don't...
You don't what?
I don't want anyone to see me. I know you think it's vanity. It's not that at all. It will upset people to see my scars. It's all wrong.
Darling, I told you many times. Needs a microscope to see them now. You know where to look. I do assure you that they don't show. And they... here we are.
Oh, no, the studio. No.
I thought you'd like to see Charles. He's very busy these days, and I know he wants to talk to you.
I can't, Roy. I just can't go up there.
Of course you can. Now, come on, darling. You owe it to him. He's a friend of yours, remember?
You're making it very difficult for me, Roy. But all right. I'll go.
That's my girl.
I hope none of the girls are here.
Oh, we'll soon see. Anyone at home? Hi there. Charles.
Who's that? Come in. Why, all that's wonderful. You must read my thoughts.
What?
Well, look, I've got a job for you. Look,
No. No, I can't. I'll never be able to.
Just a minute, love. Let me finish. Now, take a look at those diamond wristwatches, huh? Aren't they beautiful? And yours are the only hands I'd trust to model them, and I mean that. Now, sit down. Over there. You know the drill. Roy, drape that sapphire blue velvet behind the table. Now, choose which of these you want to wear first, and we're ready to start.
Modern dental practice avoids dentures wherever possible, and in suitable cases, crowns and bridges are constructed. Claudia was an ideal subject for this kind of fitting, and when she attended the sessions with the prosthodontist, who prepared and installed her new front teeth, she found herself enthralled by the artistry and expertise of the dental specialist.
Miss Humphreys, I can show you exactly on this model of a skull what has been done for you. Your 3 teeth were missing here. The teeth on either side of the gap are, in your case, quite sound, and I have drilled them to take a prosthesis like this one here.
I see. It's a wire with teeth fastened to it.
Exactly. The wire is drawn from a special metal. The teeth are matched to the patient's original ones. The wire is fastened to the good teeth on either side of the gap, and in your case, the 3 center teeth correspond exactly to those you so unfortunately lost.
How very clever. Can I take them out?
Why should you do that? No, Miss Humphreys, these cannot be removed. They feel exactly like your own teeth, do they not?
Yes, they do.
And here's a mirror.
Oh, they look like my own teeth, too. You know, Doctor, you've made me feel on top of the world.
Good, good. Now, bite down, please. Yes, that's perfect. That's all there is to it, Miss Humphreys. Modern practice has replaced your loss. I'm glad to see such excellent results.
Here we are, the 3 of us having lunch at Henley again. Does it worry you to remember the last time, Claudia?
No, why should it? There's nothing to worry about now. How long ago was it?
I can remember exactly. It was the day I heard I'd landed the job with old Jawbones. That was in May.
And now it's September, and still a lovely summer's day. Oh, who's this coming over? Friend of yours, Charles?
No, I'm sorry to say. Wish you were.
Why, hello, everybody. I'm sure sorry to disturb you all, but aren't you Miss Ivory Smile?
Yes, I am.
I knew.
Or I was. That must be 3 years ago since we did that, Charles.
Oh, I know that, but you don't change. I come from the States, Texas, and I'd have known you anywhere. We see you in just about every magazine, I guess. Say, tell me, how'd you manage to stay so young and glamorous? Oh, I nearly forgot. Won't you please sign my autograph book? My folks at home will never believe I talked to the Ivory Smile girl.
Did you hear that, Claudia? Our American friend said you never alter. Now, what did I tell you? You haven't changed at all.
No, thank goodness.
Well, come now to work.
On the river, Charles? Or on the shore?
On the shore. You can do anything you like, except let my girl water ski. And I mean that, darling.
Okay. I'm not particularly keen on the sport myself, not anymore.
Very soon, Claudia Humphreys was in demand again as a leading photographic model, thanks to modern medical and dental science. Many people contributed to her ultimate well-being. The capable young doctor in Casualty, with his careful stitching of her facial wounds. The expertise of Professor Bernstein. The knowledge and technical ability of the prosthodontist who provided her dental bridge, and the loving care of those who nursed her and helped her to complete and happy recovery.
Medical File, the documented story of the men and women who in hospitals, research centers, and lonely surgeries guard our lives. Listen again next week for another true story from Medical File.